actors have had challenges. So if there's none, I'll start pushing. Now we see a movie and we sit down for an hour and we watch it. Sometimes we scream, sometimes we shout, sometimes we are all going gaga because of how amazing the story is. But that was what the director was able to do. The director was able to manage the tempo of the production from beginning to the end. Was able to curtail the acting performance so that it will not be too much or too little. Because one actor who goes bad can spoil the whole film. Now, the director is the one that paces up the set. You see some sets that they shoot only one scene. You see a set that they shoot 8 scenes a day. The difference is the director's energy. He would push so that we achieve that scene and then move on to the next scene. The director is like the oil in the production process, like the onset and going. So there could be friction. The director comes in as the oil, and that friction dies down. So we need a good director that can handle the actors, handle the set. If not, that set may just become chaotic. Now, when we say directing actors, what do we mean? It just simply means guidance. I said it in the last class. When you guide actors to deliver, remember, believable, not outrageous, not over exaggerated, believable, emotionally, truthful, story driven performances that fit the tone, theme, genre, and visual style of the film. One thing I've come to understand, okay, there's a young director I'm working with now, and we're trying to do a film about drug lords and all that. And at the point when there is a drug lord scene, he's trying to put a cameo where somebody comes in and make people laugh. I'm like, why? I asked why. He says because he just wants to make people laugh. I said, are you kidding me? So you want to direct a film based on your own selfish reason? Have you asked yourself if this scene you're adding now affects the story? If this scene you're adding now helps the theme of the story, what is the theme of your story? Funny enough, the theme and genre of the story has nothing like comedy in it. So why the hell why are people laughing? Forgive my French. Why are people laughing? So if you know the theme and tone, if you're shooting a comedy, people should be laughing from the beginning of the film to the end. If you're shooting an action film, people are not necessarily meant to be laughing. Not because it's not comedy, but because it is a serious film you are trying to achieve, right? So based on that, before camera rolls, right, the director is part of the casting, script discussions. Then by the time he does that, he begins to build trust. While we are carrying out rehearsals, the actors are beginning to understand the director because two people are different. Two people are different. So we must gain understanding to be able to work together. So based on that, the director will inform the kind of collaboration that should be. So during rehearsals, during script reading, during bonding starts. So people begin to know the director. So if the director says this, everybody understands. Oh yeah, this is what he's saying. So on set, he's also going to direct actors because while they are filming, they may sometimes over exaggerate without knowing. He brings them down. He adjusts the emotion, let it not be too much. Then he communicates the kind of um, style he would like them to do based on the blocking. Now, the goal of the directors, directing actors, is to help the actor find what the character wants, feels, and must achieve. I have a huge challenge with the now actors. They don't even know their characterization. All they want is just to be on social media or to be in front of the camera, and that's bad. As an actor, there are questions that you try to answer. What does the character want? What is stopping the character? What is the character? Um, what does the character feel but cannot say? How does this scene change me? Now, what must the audience feel? These questions help you be able to understand and put yourself in the shoes of the director. Now, if you do this, when you come on set, the director will also help you do this. Now, when you have weak direction, the director answers very short, be more emotional. There's nothing like be more emotional, it's too short. Act sadder, make it stronger, do it better. Now you are trying not to cry because you don't want him to see he has hurt you. Say the line as if this is your last chance to convince her. Hide the pain, let the audience discover it. Now, these types of talk are better for directing because it is broader and it helps the actor know what exactly he wants to do. Now, usually they will tell you that there's no formula to directing, and I agree with them, there's no formula to directing. But yes, as long as we're having a class, I'll have to give you one or two formulas. But when you get on the field, know the formula, but also know the circumstance that surrounds your situation so that you know how to act towards it. So this is it. Character, objective, obstacle, tactic, emotional subtext. There are some scenes that might not have all of this. Some scenes may have only two of this or three of this or two or five, however it is. So you know how to put it. Now, let's use this example. Amaka wants Ozemena to confess, but she knows he may become violent. So she starts softly, pretends to trust him, then gradually corners him. Underneath, she is terrified but determined. This gives the actor something playable, a real action to perform, not just a feeling to display. Now, that example statement made is what the director will tell the actor so that the actor will know, okay, my character is this. This is what is happening. This is what's happening. And then we'll have that. Now, giving performance direction, you look at the voice and pace, look at the body and gaze and emotional intensity. These are things that you need to do. These are things that you need to do, and you need to see how you achieve that. So, bad directing versus better direction. Now, instead of you to say, cry here, you promised yourself you would not break down in front of him. Fight the tears. So instead of you to say, be angry, you will say, you are trying to stay calm, but every word he says feels like an insult. Instead of you to say, act scared, you can say, you suspect he may know the truth, but you must not let him see your fear. So what is he trying to say is that you can't just give one word. How are you? I'm fine. No, that is not it. You can't just give one word. You must express yourself. Say the word well so that everybody will get to understand um, what is meant to be done. Now, the actors own the emotion. Don't direct their emotions. You can only tell them to tone it down or take it high, but you can direct the struggle. Now, what does that mean? In film, small gestures carry strong meaning because the camera can come close. A raised eyebrow, a delayed answer, a swallowed breath, or avoiding eye contact may communicate more than shouting. So, Instead of be heartbroken, say you are trying to pretend the breakup means nothing, but your body is betraying you. So this would make the actor think, okay, how does so the actor knows how best to deliver this. So you may still change him. Okay, I like what you did now, but tone down on this, tone down on this, tone down on this, and we'll go again. Now, adjusting acting for story needs. Now, emotion doesn't match the objective. Now, the director must know when the emotion doesn't match the objective. Is it that when it's too little, too fast, too slow, or something is just wrong somewhere? Now, most people are trained for theater than for screen, right? So they need to know how to manage and be in screen. Some other people have a mismatched tone. What does that mean? Oh God, you want to do normal whisper, they don't know how to whisper again. Their voice will be high. There's some people who start speaking for them and they cannot speak. There's some people who start becoming melodramatic. You start hearing it in their voice. Like in case I want to teach now, I could just be talking like this. And I'm trying to say inconsistency. That is because this is not exactly the way I speak normally. And I'm just trying to talk like this because I think I am acting and maybe this voice makes me feel better. But because it is not my normal voice, as I keep going at a point, I lose the tempo, the uh, what they call it again. I'll remember when your voice modulation and all that. I miss all of that. So the director blocks the actors, blocks the crew, and everybody understands what it is. Now, many people think blocking is stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here, and do this. No, blocking is storytelling. For example, before a director blocks this scene, he thinks of the last scene. How did it end? How did it start? And then he brings it into this scene and try to make it flow. Right? Now, when the director is positioning you, he may be trying to communicate distance, closeness, uh, near the door, or all these things. They have different meanings. They could mean escape, intimacy, and all that. So don't say, no, the script says stand 2 meters away. Are we going to bring the ruler and start measuring 2 meters? No. So just flow with your director, let him block. Yeah. Now, two siblings argue over their father's property. The same dialogue produces entirely different meaning depending on positioning. Side by side, the same feels calm. Conflict is suppressed. One behind father's chair suggests inheritance, authority, or manipulation. One blocks the doorway, suggests control. No one leaves until this is resolved. One turns away during accusation, suggests guilt. The body confuses what the mouth denies. Now, you see, there's the last class I was telling you, I said the way you move your body tells a lot. So now, see the way the director has positioned people. Each positioning means something. So the director doesn't usually just tell you stand there. And when you stand there, it now means that, oh, the director just say make I stand there. I don't know what I go do. Script say I should stand at the door. But the director has realized that standing at the door could give you a wrong meaning, and especially if the door of the house you're using to shoot is positioned wrongly, right? So the director will know how to do that. Now, movement within a scene. You approach, you circling, where you can be going around the object, you can withdraw, going away. Then two people standing still, right? So there are different types of movement. So learn to use space for storytelling. Space is emotional. Space could mean loneliness. Space could mean exposure. It could mean um, missing scene. It could mean a lot of things could be happening within that space, and you need to know how to handle it and how to achieve it. Now, romantic scene, thriller scene, family scene. Now, in a romantic scene, two lovers sit far apart, disagreement. Thriller scene, a woman enters a room and the man she fears stands between her and the exit. Without dialogue, she's trapped. A mother sits at the dining table. Her children stand around her, but no one sits beside her, emotionally alone inside her own family. So these are different ways to achieve space while you're filming, and space is critical. Now, rehearsal and preparation, you must do rehearsal. Nothing like, oh, try not to get actors who are busy. If the actor is busy, leave the actor, but you must find time to come for a table read. Now, we have table reads, talk throughs, walk throughs, scene walk, straight rehearsals. Now, each rehearsal type serves a different purpose, from hearing the story aloud for the first time to locking technical precision before the camera rolls. All right? Now, table read. Table read just means dialogue that sounds unnatural. People are just reading from the table. Weak emotional beats, don't worry, we are not bothered about that. Character chemistry, yes, we want the characters to actually try to start building chemistry, but pacing and tone, we don't need pacing and tone at this point because you cannot. We're all seated and we're all reading on clear motivation. So at this point, people have really not begun to understand what's going on. But yes, it seems unclear, but it's happening. It's really happening. Okay. So we have the scene rehearsal process: read, discuss, turning point, no blocking, add movement. So here, this is just basically what we do when we're doing uh, table reading. Performance refinement. Now, performance refinement means improving the actor's delivery until it becomes truthful, clear, and story focused. Can the actor reduce or hide the emotion? Can the actor make the silence meaningful? Now, can the actor listen more and delay the reaction? Can the actor create stronger contracts between beginning and end? Now, of course, if you read what they said, I usually don't correct people outside. So I always wait and try to see, wait and try to see what's happening before I move. So I take you to a corner and then we talk. Okay. You don't need to start shouting. Yes, there are some times you shout because there are some actors, oh God, they will give you a hard time. Yes, you scream, but most times just cool down. That is where your leadership comes from. Now, you are both the creative leader and the emotional temperature controller. What that means is if you want your set, if you want them to fight on set now, they will fight. In as much as I know I've been on a set where they fought, but they refused to listen. They were just so disrespectful, and the both of them hate each other that I don't know. Both of them hate each other. So don't let that kind of thing happen on a set. Now you must be clear-headed, you must be calm, you must not take sides, you must be justified, especially when you're trying to discuss. Let it be that is your project you're discussing on. Now, of course, clear and prepared, calm and decisive, time conscious, respectful and collaborative. Yeah. Now that makes a good director. Leadership mistakes to avoid: arriving unprepared. Most directors now they just all want to dress fine. They pay them money and they read the script and they come and start shooting. When you see scripts, you see where we write on the script. We write a lot of things on the script, design the script with what we have mapped out to show how we want to arrange and move, and then we begin to film. Vague notes and public contradictions, ignoring continuity, allowing panic to spread. Now, these are mistakes that the director will make. Communicating with crew, you communicate with actors, communicate with cinematographers, assistant director is key, and editors. These are very key people to communicate. To the actor, you are not angry yet. You are trying to stay respectful, but he is pushing you. The cinematographer starts wider to show this distance between them, then move closer as the accusation becomes personal. Today, we need 5 minutes for one private note with the actor, then we go for take. Please watch the cup, hand position and emotional level before we rest. So these are the way to talk to people on set. Let it be clear and let it be calm. Let us not be fighting. You dey mad? You dey this, we are aggressive. I don't understand why we're aggressive. But I understand sometimes that your crew members, your cast, they can make you go gaga sometimes. Now, time management is key. Trust me, the problem of filmmaking is time. You have 24 hours to shoot as much as you can shoot. Yes, depending on budget, you can do between 5 and 10 scenes a day, right? And that can work. So, time-saving practices: prepare shoot list before set, rehearse blocking before lighting, group similar shots when possible, avoid unnecessary coverage, protect key emotional moments, move on when performance and technical needs are achieved. You get? So don't just roll out like that. You have to be clear about your blockings. Don't let any argument come on set at all. Directing for continuity. Continuity means maintaining consistency across shots so that the audience believes the scene is happening in continuous time and space. I've heard a lot of people say shooting like that. Shooting like that is wrong. If your continuity person tells you this movement was not right, this props was here, this emotion was higher before, these are the things you need to keep in place and make sure they continue. Now, camera and lighting continuity. Screen direction, camera axis, shot size logic, eye line, lighting mode, movement direction. So all these things are meant to affect continuity. So continuity is supposed to, even camera and light has continuity. You understand? Of course, common continuity errors. You were shooting before, cup was in the right hand. Next thing, cup is in the left hand. All this will, because we were shooting up at took light. We changed light again. Come on, we'll see that what we were shooting before, it was 3:2. Now we're shooting on 3:5. Light has changed a little in color and temperature. So continuity checks for directors. You need to check where is each actor positioned, what is each actor holding, what was the emotional level in the previous shot, what directing is the actor looking. So these are the things you must ask yourself as a director, so that you know. Now, 5-step performance direction method: objective, obstacle, tactic, subtext, adjustment. Now, we had asked this earlier: what does the actor want? What is stopping the character? How does the character try to get what they want? What is the character really feeling but not saying? What should change in the performance to serve the story? This 5-step practice method: a daughter asks her father for school fees, but the father has no money. She wants help. He is ashamed and defensive. She starts politely, then becomes frustrated. She feels abandoned. Do not play anger from the beginning. Start with hope, then disappointment, then pain. That scene now we're directing it. Now the adjustment is the director's most important tool. By telling the actor not to play anger from the start, the director creates an emotional arc, hope collapsing into pain. That is far more powerful than a single sustained emotion. Now putting it all together, central directing hub, which is the director. Leadership and calm, clear, continuity, protect audience belief, performance, guide, truth, not control, blocking, storytelling with position, rehearsals before shooting. Now you need, as a director, always think of your audience. Always. If you don't, it would hurt you. Now, directing actors, now not about controlling the performance, it's about guiding the truth. Now, blocking is not about where the actors stand. It's about what the audience feel. You know, I just said it now. The audience is key. Not about shouting instructions. It is about creating clarity. Not just technical. It protects the audience belief. Who is that? Someone saying something?
Sia. Itu mau sih ada mana? Sebenarnya saya itu ada opsi ada. Mau sih saya itu ada opsi ada.
I don't know what's going on, but someone is talking. Can we move? So
Um, Sorry about the glitch. We're having a little bit of technical issues. Okay, our facilitator will be back soon. Please, you can get your questions ready. Okay, pardon us. We're having a little technical issue, but that is being resolved. Okay, just give us a minute. We'll get that sorted.
hello?
Yeah, carry on. We can all hear you.
Sorry, I'm trying to share my stuff. Mm. So sorry about that. I was knocked out by network. So we're already wrapping up. So we're at the end point of the shoot, which is of the takeaway points, which you must take away from this class. Key points which you must take away from this class. Yeah. Speak in playable terms. What that means, don't tell somebody, be sad, get angry. No. Explain what you want the person to say. Block with purpose. You understand? Block with purpose. Now let the positioning of your blocking not tell a different story from the story you're trying to tell. Now rehearse before shoot. Give actors intention, obstacles, and all the tactics they need to have. Lead with calm authority. Don't shout and do all those this thing. Yeah, a time might come for that, but please just be calm and protect continuity. Always protect continuity. So yeah, this is the end of the class. So please Yeah, so I was asking if there's any questions. Uh, okay, first of all, there's something they do in conflict resolution. Hmm? First thing is pacify. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. Try to pacify. Don't try to prove right. Listen to the person. Once you listen, solutions come. Listen to the person. Find out what is hurting the person and tackle it amicably, justifiably. Listen to both sides of the decision. Don't say, "No, my man, not my man." Tackle it. First of all, there should not be any conflict. But when conflict arises, so you should try your best to make sure conflict does not come. But where conflict comes in, right, you should be able to manage it. If it means you cutting off people, go home. Sanctions must be made, do it. But you must stand your ground and you must know who is who. Any more questions?
Please, if there are questions, ask your questions. You have questions, ask your questions. Okay, this is the time to ask questions. So we're waiting for your questions. All right. There are no other questions. We appreciate the anchor for today's class, and of course, that will bring us to the end of today's class. Please remember to complete your assignment and your quiz, and I'm going to see you in our next class. Okay. Thank you for participating and have a good evening. Bye.